Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Making History, Second World War. So, getting a very Wolfenstein feel from the music actually already, which is pretty cool. So what is Making History? Now, Making History is a series of games that are rather unique in how they function. I can't quite say there's many other strategy games like them. They're a bit of a mix of, well, they're practically a grand strategy. Just adjust the volume. There we go. So, this is still in early access. They're estimated around about a month after early access before full release. The game is more or less feature complete, as the developers have stated, more or less. There's still quite a lot in it. It's fully playable. It's just obviously coming up to full release, they will add more and more. So, we are going to be playing as the Empire of Japan, mostly because then we can learn different aspects of the game, like naval, industry, agriculture, and etc, etc. So that sounds good. Now, I need to adjust the mode in which I'm capturing this. I shall be 1 second. And let's go for that. Okay. Hopefully it should update. Okay. I was going to restart the stream. Ah, no, there we go. Perfect. Okay, now, with this being full screen, I had to switch modes there just so I was able to capture that. So yes, we begin as the Empire of Japan, and you can already see over here that we're experiencing well, economic difficulties. Our coal is running out incredibly quickly. Metal, but it's scarce. Oil, scarce, but not as bad as coal and metal, but we will run out in time. Food is running out. We do produce arms, we do produce fuel. Obviously I could stop producing fuel so we could reduce the amount of oil consumed. Steel, we're producing quite a good amount of steel. So having steel is very good. That allows us a few options really in terms of economics. So what we need to do then is we need to assess the Empire of Japan and its ability to fight. Okay. Demographic. So we have Japanese over here, Korean, Manchurian. Okay, culture. Also Japanese. Yamato. Indeed. So I can picture in the future that this will be a very good, very, very good game to mod. Okay, Empire map. So these are our territorial waters. You can see here, we have our puppet state over here of Fengtian, or Manchukuo. This is our puppet state in the north. These are our territorial waters, which is fantastic actually. Having territorial waters quite far apart is very handy to have. As the United Kingdom, that would be very powerful. Dependencies, we don't have any dependencies at the moment. Obviously there's Manchukuo here, colony protectorate. Claim regions. So obviously we claim Manchuria, Port Arthur. Well, these are contested claims. Port Arthur, and I believe this is Shanghai. Yeah, Shanghai proper. We have the South Kuril Islands. Then, is this the Sakhalin? Yeah, Sakhalin Islands. It's a bit of interest. So, obviously ourselves, national interests and possessions. So we consider Siberia and China to be in our sphere of interest, which is rather interesting. A number of Pacific islands too, which is pretty cool. Okay. So now what we need to take a look at is the resource map mode. I'm actually loving this music. This is very different to what I'd expect for a World War II game, but I'm loving it. Getting a very Wolfenstein feel from it, and I really like that. Okay. So, coal production. Undeveloped, so we have undeveloped coal over here, and in Korea as well. Also in Manchuria. Level 1 coal production over here. So that's about it for coal production. We don't have too much in that way. Metal production, we don't have much metal production, so we do need to really ramp up this production. Oil, we do apparently produce a little bit of oil over here. A little bit. Which is good to know. This oil production around here, but obviously we'd need to get into Indonesia for the vast majority of it. Okay. Right, coal prospecting, so we have a low chance of finding more coal here. A fairly good chance over here, which is pretty damn handy. So that's very good to know. Metal prospecting. So we'll be able to see really which regions are by far and large the best to develop. Isn't this an old game? No, this has been recently released. This is obviously a remake of the Second World War game that they have done. It's very much taken a lot of cues from Making History of the Great War, but this is the early access. You can find this on Steam, basically Making History of the Second World War. I imagine the release date will be about a month from now. Okay. So low yield. Low yield in these areas. Medium's not bad at all. We do have a lot of oil potential down here, which is rather interesting. Obviously Baku, Azerbaijan in the Caucasus. Okay. Supply access, very important to know. Transportation, yeah, these are rather important things. So we can see here that we have open field farming, enclosed farming and the rest. We need to really work on mechanized farming. There's a lot of things that we need to do. We can also see our trade routes over here. So active trading partners, we're actively trading with the United States of America, basically trading with Washington. And they are our only trading partner at the moment in time. Okay, so what we need to do then is we need to start trading, if we can. Trade access. So we have trade access to, obviously, Manchuria. The Hebei Chahan Council. Indeed. East Hebei. And then the Shantung government. So, we need to access more markets. That's good to know. Ideology. So we are fascist, which is pretty cool. Obviously we have communists, we have the democratic nations over here. Authoritarian. Very interesting. So they're basically colonial nations. Okay, so let's get into this. Spent a long time talking about the different facets of the UI there. So what we need to go over then is really... Let's take a look at that government first. See, I very much love the way that they present information like this. It's absolutely fantastic. I do adore the Making History games, mostly because the detail is remarkable. Right then. So we can see here that population is just over 100 million at the moment in total. The culture of the empire is 72% Yamato, so basically most of Japanese culture. We make up the largest ethnicity. Okay. So we're 6th in military, 8th in production, 7th in technology, 24th in influence. Okay. So we need to start trading. That's the big priority here to begin with. We could adjust these tax rates and different government programs. We will in time. Colonial empire trade only. Colonial colonies and protectorates are not allowed to trade on the world market. Very interesting to see. Okay, research. So let's take a look at the research to begin with. Okay. Pretty cool. I wonder if this one lets you make custom puppet states like a Great War. I'd imagine so, actually. I mean, that was actually a really remarkably cool thing to do. Very cool. It does seem to just take into consideration the earlier technologies from the different games, which is fantastic. So you can imagine you can definitely mod the time back. They're very good for modding these games. I've never tried, but I can see that they're pretty decent for it. Okay. So we have motored boats, so fishery 2 and fast attack craft. Precipitation hardening. Meat packing. Defense industries. I'm going to go with the defense industries, mostly because as the Empire of Japan we need to be very, very aggressive, as we do not have the luxury of time. Which is really important to know. So we'll get on with that. I mean, we do go into the Atomic Age after some time. How far does this go then? Space age stage rockets and nuclear warheads. Okay, that's sorted. Diplomacy, government, production. Okay. Now, let's see. Obviously we're lacking in coal and etc. We'll see what we can trade for to see if we can alleviate some of these issues. So we can see here our relations, well, basically our influence. Obviously with Manchukuo, we have complete influence over them, as they are a client state of the Japanese Empire. Their readiness is medium. Okay. Their economy. Yeah, they're not exactly making something. I'd be better off actually subsidizing them. Okay. Indeed. So I would say coal is something that we need first of all. Though metal is very much in demand. Right. The Kingdom of Siam and the Kingdom of Italy. We have good relations with these nations. Let's take a look at let's take a look at the United States. Right. So the US isn't going to be able to help us with the coal, mostly because of the fact that they're actually losing coal themselves due to exportation. Metal, they're losing it. They're producing more oil, which is good to know. They're losing food. Steel, they produce, yeah, okay. So we can trade with the Americans for oil, which is obviously going to be extremely needed. Okay, so let's do so. Oil. Right. So 15 units. I'd like to have more than that. So we'll go for about 30 units of oil, see if I can get that. And as much as I could get would be good. Right, so we do have large shipping capacity. We do have the rail capacity needed, so we can manage that. 60 gold. Actually, let's bump that up to as much as we can. I can't quite remember how much they were making. I think it was about 60. Somewhere around that time. Okay, I got it the wrong way around. Okay, we'll cancel that trade agreement. Cancel the deal. Okay. Seems like Germany is the only one selling at the moment. Let's see. I'll buy as much as I have. Right, there we go. So we're going to import oil from Germany. I feel like the Germans may one day regret that. Okay. Coal. I can import it from the Rhineland, but there's no way to trade with them. Okay, so we're already buying coal from the United States. Can we increase that amount? No, I can't possibly do that anyway. Okay, that leaves us with 89. Difficult. I'll just see if I can increase that. No, they rejected that agreement. Fair enough. Nobody's selling food right now. So Germany and the Soviets are selling steel, everybody else is buying steel. Which is good to know. We do produce a decent amount of it, so that's good. Though, do we want to conserve the amount of steel that we have for, obviously, production? That would be a possibility. Though it would be good to build up some relations with different nations to try and then make it easier in the future to sell said oil. Said products. And buy said products. Let's make an offer to the Kingdom of Italy. Apologies about the noise in the background. I'm just going to be unmuted just for the time being. Apologies about that, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so now with the Italians. So 25 units of steel would net me a decent income. Doesn't use too much in the shipping capacity. So we'll do that. Okay, so we're going to export steel to the Kingdom of Italy. Right, so at least that's some of the economics sorted. Kinda. We're making a surplus in oil, which is fantastic. Let's take a look at boosting our industry. Or do we? I mean, we are March 1st, 1936. It's not too long before we go with the Sino-Japanese War. So let's take a look at the military that we have over in the mainland. Let's see. Military. So we're at low readiness at the moment in time. Okay. So food shortages are very, very impactful. Upgrade all units for 225 gold. Yeah, that's definitely worthwhile. Pretty cheap as well, to be honest. So, in total we have 99 units. 11 armoured, 12 marines, 8 engineers, 9 mounted infantry, 54 infantry divisions, 5 militia, artillery, not too much, so we could do with building more of that. We do have 5 heavy artillery pieces, 9 infantry support guns, planes, 38 fighters, 17 bombers, ships, right, carriers is where it's all at. Carriers, we have 8 carriers, 30 submarines. So a very large navy, which is good to know. 25 cruisers, 2 battleships, 21 destroyers, 4 battleships. Okay. Apparently these are... Oh, so these are oil-driven, these are coal-driven. Okay. Good to know. Right, manpower. Okay. The 11th Army. On to begin moving. They can move normally. Right, you're independent. Move via rail. Okay, so we have all these assets on the home islands. need to really do something with them. Let's begin to develop our industry then. So let's go over to this. I'm going to be looking for coal prospecting. So we're going to start... Actually, no, coal production. We'll just increase the amount of coal. So expand output. Expand output. Okay, how much does that actually cost? So if we go into the actual province here, go to resources. It increases maintenance. Not by a huge amount, so it's not too bad. There we go. Try and increase that amount of output. Need to prospect over here. Expand the output. There we go. Now metals. We don't really produce much metal. And there we go. Indeed. I do like these games actually. It's been a while since I've played one, so I'm enjoying this so far. Agriculture is what we need to increase. And close farming. I would like to find out. Okay, I suppose planes are going to be the best thing for us. Let's just take a look at the cost of doing so. So you can see there, 200 fuel, 200 steel, 1,200 cash, and 40 turns perhaps, or however long. So that's pretty expensive. Start with just that one then. Okay, now unit production. Nagasaki. Six turns. 5. I'd say probably mountain infantry is a good thing to invest in. They will work on infantry too. Right, Kanto. That'll do. Looking for actual shipyards. Okay. Do I have any naval production? I must do. I guess not, actually. Okay, we could have that switched over. So is this Nagasaki? No, it's Osaka. Right, Osaka. Early carrier. See, submarines are rather interesting. I feel like we might want to consider... Now, carriers are obviously going to be quite important, but I feel like having destroyers could be very good too, so I'm going to go with some destroyers. Alright, yeah, keep that production up. Nagasaki as well, produce something. And again, cruisers aren't that much more expensive. Then again, 25, 25, 50, 20, 20, 20, yeah, okay. Submarines are quite cheap. I will start producing a... Actually, I'm going to need to start producing shipping capacity. That's going to be one of the most important things I can do. So we'll do with that then. Okay. So a decent amount of troops over here. Decent amount over here. These are Koreans. So I'll have the Koreans move too. I could do with them... Could do with having more troops over in Shanghai. Yeah, the armor would be very, very good. Right, we have a patrol fleet. Large army here. Okay, take the Marines out. Take the militia. There we go. Can have these forces then moved. There we go. Okay, so working on different aspects. We're sort of starting to trade, which is good. Yeah, so you can see now that we're trading with Germany and Italy, the US still. There's a few more things going on, which is good. Okay. So I think what we can do here is we can end the turn and see what happens. I do need to take a look at the fleet though. Okay, military intelligence. Chinese Soviet Republic changed military readiness to general mobilization. Okay. Coal trade agreement between the United States and the Empire of Japan has been cancelled. United States supply of coal is too low. Financial aid. Yes, okay. I should give aid to Manchukuo too. Economy. Indeed. Right, so Right, they're buying steel. Mm-hmm. So we could annex them if we wanted to. Which I won't, because I like them to be somewhat independent. So what we're going to do is we're going to give them financial aid. 100 gold is really not much. Right, every time we'll offer them 400. And then if we can get them to develop themselves to a certain degree, in the future we could then annex them, which would be a very good thing for us. Okay. So, let's take a look at the fleet. Launch command groups. Army. Right. Few dreadnoughts. Lots of early destroyers, early submarines. Fleet carrier. So this is in First Fleet. Which is over here. Right, you can see here that we have the Akagi, Kaga. Aye, considerable fleet. And strike power. Indeed, what I want to increase is their defense against submarines, and especially we're going to start producing more and more destroyers mostly because I want to keep my trading lanes open. We need to be able to just control this area, control our waters. We can see at the moment, still producing steel, still producing fuel, producing arms. Shipping capacity down to 26, we still have some rail capacity. Though coal and metal agriculture all suffering. Right, so we have the Chinese Soviet Republic over here. Different warlord states. Okay. Ah, that's their fleet. Okay. Have them land over here. And then we'll have you travel down here. This patrol fleet can be moved down to this side. So we have what? 2 destroyers, some cruisers. They have merchant raiders. Nothing really that's going to put up in much fight. Let's move down there. Okay. There we go. Moving the fleet out. Right, that's a Soviet fleet. Good to bear in mind. Okay, so we can see that we're starting to prospect and expand output in a number of locations. It's good to know. Right, the Air Force. Now, thankfully, we do have an airfield over here, which is fantastic. Have some planes here. Okay, rebase. That does consume a lot of capacity. Okay, what do we have here? Fighters and fighters. You base foremost there. Need bombers really. Okay. Bit of artillery over here actually. Alright, awesome. So lots of movement there. Really getting in position to strike against the Chinese. But unfortunately we're going to have to cut it off here for today. And I will definitely be doing more of this game. It's very interesting. And obviously once it goes full release and further support afterwards, we can go further. So until next time guys, thank you for watching and goodbye for now. I hope to see you again in the very future. In the very near future.